Inside the mind of a juror. For the first time since Tammy Moorer's trial, we're hearing from those who held her fate before she was sentenced to prison. This comes 3 months after that trial ended because Horry County denied to give WMBF News the list of jurors multiple times, even though it falls under public information.
And Marissa Tancito sat down with a member of the jury for Moorer's October 2018 kidnapping trial. For a WMBF News exclusive, she joins us live in the studio now. So Marissa, at what point did this juror actually know what his decision was going to be?
Well, Eric and Meredith, John Brown tells me he took the role as a juror on this trial very seriously, as did others, so much so that the thought of coming to a decision made some jurors physically sick. But in the end, Brown says when he put together all the evidence, he knew they had a guilty verdict on their hands.
In the end, you had to do the right thing, and that's why those decisions were made.
A task so daunting, Brown says it would keep him up trying to process all the evidence, testimony, and information taken in throughout the 2-week period of Tammy Moorer's trial.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Tammy Moorer, guilty of kidnapping.
They knew it was going to take a while.
Brown says the jury mulled through surveillance video and phone records once they got into the deliberation room, asking to review things again. At first, Brown says he didn't know what the state expected the jury to make out of the surveillance video from the home on Highway 814.
We were like, there's no way that we're going to figure out who's driving that truck, what's going on, what are you showing me this for? Yes, it's a big black pickup, but other than that, we really didn't know what to think about it.
But Brown says things became clearer when Grant Fredericks took the stand to analyze that video.
I was actually amazed that the headlights of, even if it's the same make, model, everything the same on a vehicle, they throw a different pattern on the ground. We were very fortunate in the jury group to have an actual mechanic with us. He confirmed this.
Brown says it was the sequence of both surveillance videos from Mill Pond Road and Highway 814 that made him start putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
Was there any significance with the Mill Pond Road, or was it kind of the same
well,
feeling?
I think the significance had to do with the timing, because you basically had 2 trigger points. You had the lady's home surveillance system camera, and then you had the business, which was a little ways down the road. And the timing sequence of that same vehicle showing up in the cameras, that played a key role.
I also asked Brown about the surveillance video from Walmart and the payphone where Sydney Moorer placed a call to Heather Elvis the morning of December 18th, 2013.
You had 2 fully operational cell phones in the vehicle, which weren't used. But the clothing that he was wearing was significant because it matched the perfect video which came out of the Walmart.
During the trial, jurors heard testimony about how Tammy and Sydney's phones had no communication in the weeks leading up to Heather's disappearance until just after she was last heard from.
The significance of not having that communication, and especially on that night in question, to have it shut off for these people was very uncommon.
Another key piece of evidence for Brown was testimony from Tammy Moorer's cousin, Donald DiMarino.
After seeing that picture, do you expect anybody to hear from Heather Elvis?
No. I did a lot of time in the military, and I've seen people that have seen horrible things. He was completely believable to me, and to me, he looked like a person that definitely seen something that was horrific.
Brown says he even paid close attention to Tammy Moorer when she got the chance to speak.
What did you take away from her testimony?
I was actually very surprised. Humility and just disdain of feeling remorse for the family. To me, it wasn't there.
After 4 hours in the deliberation room, reviewing evidence and interpretation of the law.
So you need to hear it again. You need to see it for yourself on the paperwork. And once we did, we seen it. We knew what the decision had to be.
To this day, Brown says he wonders if anyone who lives near Peachtree Landing heard or saw anything. And he hopes one day the Elvis family can get closure and justice for Heather. Live in the studio, Marissa Tancito, WMBF News.